One of the main reasons you have continuous problems in your relationship, if you do, right, that won't go away seemingly, is because you do not appreciate your partner enough and they know it. Now, does that mean your partner doesn't have some major flaws they need to work on that are impacting you? No, not at all. Heck, that also doesn't even mean that your partner may not be guilty of the same thing to where they don't appreciate you enough, right? But I'll tell you this, if you don't feel appreciated in your relationship, aren't you very aware of it, that your partner doesn't? And if that is your reality, why do you know? How are you so sure that you're not appreciated, right? It's pretty clear to you, isn't it? You feel the energy, you feel all the things that shows, oh, my partner doesn't see my value or what have you, right? Or it's the things they do or they say that completely screams to you, oh, I'm not that valuable to them, or the things I do bring to the table are not seen. For the very reason you know it, if that's the position you're in, that's exactly what your partner's experiencing right now. See, we have a habit as humans because we're pre-wired to look out for things that are dangerous, harmful, painful, to focus on the negative, right? We have a base position that will default there because that can be a problem in the making. So we need to be aware of it, focus on it to deal with it. The issue is whenever that becomes the normacy in your relationship, then you spend a lot more time focusing on that 20% you're missing, and you completely chuck to the side all the 80% that is so great about the relationship and about your partner. And the more you focus on that 20% that's missing, and look, I'm gonna reason with you. Maybe that 20% is a loud 20%. Maybe all these other things your partner does and who they are for you and who they are to you in your world and all the value they bring is amazing. But that 20% that's not so great, oh, it's really painful. It's really an issue, right? I can reason with you there. But the issue is where focus goes, energy flows, and that's what grows. So the more you start to narrow in those blinders and you get so tunnel vision on the problem, all you start to contribute to the problem is more negativity that adds fuel to the fire of the problem. Meaning you're not pouring love into it, right? Understanding grace and trying to work with them in a constructive way. You're pouring negativity into it, right? You're tearing them down. You're being highly critical in ways that it chastises them and all sorts of stuff that goes on to where now they start doubling down in their position to do the same in return. Now they start fighting back, start defending themselves, start calling you out for things. Now we're throwing stuff back and forth verbally. You have to come to understand that pouring love into an equation where your partner's dropping the ball, having missteps to help fix it is not a weak move. It's not you doing the thing that's going to open you up for more attack or make it okay for what they're doing, make them feel like what they're doing is all right, right? It's not letting them off the hook. What it's doing is offering them an opportunity to want to own up to the thing they need to work on or be inspired to want to do better for you because you're pouring love into them in an area that they know you don't have to. So I want to offer you a perspective that will help you find that appreciation for your partner again, and not only just be aware of it, but actually live in that more so and operate through that energy towards things you're dealing with that might be conflict with your partner versus being aware of the good they bring, but solely focusing on the bad. I want you to imagine that you had this ability to be projected into the future, let's say like 6 months or something like that from now, right? And in that future, you got there, you looked up, you didn't really realize where you were at first, but you realized, oh my gosh, I'm in the future. And you got to see what was going to happen 6 months from now. And in that reality, your partner became gravely ill. Surprise disease struck them, cancer of some sort, whatever the case is. And you saw them go from the person that you chose to do life with to disintegrating in front of your eyes, going through the pain they went through, the suffering, everything. And they scared and everything because they never thought their life would end this soon in this way. And to the point where you saw them actually pass away. They're gone now. Your partner's never coming back. It's over forever, right? Then just like that, you pop back from that future reality into your present day through a tunnel or whatever, right? You don't know how it happened, but you know it happened. You're sitting there shocked and, oh my gosh, like you're thinking about all the time you don't have with your partner now. You come home, you see your partner there. They're smiling or whatever. They're normal, right? Normal where they are because they're none the wiser, right? They have no clue what's going on here. You know what their fate is in 6 months, right? And they're still doing the same things they've been doing. That 20% of things they do or whatever that's been annoying you or it's really been an issue or a problem that you got to deal with, it's still there. They still have the same habit. You recognize it. You don't want to tell them what's going on because you don't want them to be scared and really start to deteriorate faster because they start convincing themselves of really negative narratives and it impacts them physically and so forth, right? But you're so aware of what is going to happen in 6 months and the tragedy is going to be. As you look at them, right? If you can imagine looking at your partner right now and they're none the wiser, are you nearly as bothered by the things that they dropped the ball on or how they're not showing up or their habit or whatever their flaw, their mistake or the thing they really need to work on, the bad characteristic they have? Or are you more focused on, okay, I can work with that, but let me squeeze every drop of time I can out of being with my partner to enjoy all these days with them because I never thought my time with them wouldn't extend for years on end? You tell me. And if you are feeling way more of a concern for spending the time with them, what you're experiencing is gratitude. That's what it feels like to be grateful for your partner. And that's what you're lacking most and what you need to rediscover most in your relationship for your partner to be able to offer them the grace and focus on what matters most, which is the love and the unity you want instead of the calling them out and putting them to the flame that you're most likely doing currently. If you did feel that gratitude for them, flaws and all, because you're thinking about, oh, the precious time that you have left with them and the time you don't have with them, right? What I just helped you do is shift your focus to where now where your focus is going, right? And energy is flowing towards it. The thoughts associated are growing from it to where you're more concerned about all the value and the appreciation you have for them and what they bring to your life value wise. And it's empowering you in that moment to look at their flaws is a lot smaller to where you can work with them. You can get past that because at the end of the day, them, the person, is a lot more valuable to you and beneficial than the missteps, the flaws, the shortcomings that they even fight you on sometimes. Gives you a little more extra length of grace to offer them to work with them because you understand how valuable they are to you and you want every day you can have with them to be as special as possible. And you don't want when it's all said and done to look back and you're like, man, I spent my last 6 months with my partner fighting with them, arguing with them, being mad at them instead of enjoying them. Big difference. To really take some time and sit to ask yourself, are the issues and things I deal with my partner, are they really in a extremely toxic space to where it's, not really feasible or reasonable to find a positivity in it? Is the, 20% actually the 80% that is negative and the 20% is good to where, it's hard for me to find appreciation because I'm in such turmoil with my partner? Is it that? Or is it, yeah, I'm not so happy that some things needs to be worked on. The relationship is not as healthy as it could be. And I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm being impacted by my partner, but there's still an 80% that outweighs the 20 that I haven't been focusing on as much. If that's the case, really start putting yourself in the training habit of locking in on what you can appreciate about your partner and then use that to help you inspire them to be better for themselves, for you, and ultimately for your relationship. Let's get it.